All right, Mr. Joseph.
How's it going?
Good. Welcome to Adventure Culture and this episode number 7. Do you want to introduce a little bit of yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Joseph Bagheri, and I'm a Waterloo student that's like involved in like the startup realm a little bit. I used to be a lot more involved, I think like a bit ago, but I don't know. It's still on my radar. It's just now, like if I do fully run, I'm trying to like run more seriously,
Right.
you know?
So why did you stop being as involved?
Well, I mean, I guess I was kind of, it's a very hard question to like answer, but I'm just gonna take it way back and like talk about why I even like wanted to start a startup. The reason why I wanted to start a startup was, well, obviously the reason why a lot of people want to start a startup is money.
Yeah.
That was one reason. But I don't know, just from like looking at the world, it seemed like if you make something good that is like useful for people or does something good, like for a large number of people, that good like will flow back to you as well.
Right.
So that was like one of the reasons. And I think like even when I was young, I would always like try and look around like what's something good I could like make. Can I make this or can I make that? And I think when you're young, like you have a lot of energy, which is like an awesome thing, but you may not like know necessarily like what has worked in the past or what hasn't.
Yeah.
And that's its own like good thing. Sorry, did you want to say something?
Yeah. No, you're just trying new things and you're just using that energy to anything, but you don't really know what to use it for. But it's a good thing, right? Because you're exploring different things. And did you mention which program you're in?
So yeah, sorry, I'm in Mechatronics engineering at the University of Waterloo, and
Which year?
I'm in the first year of third year.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, so it's honestly not bad. I don't know. I feel like it got easier.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, no, at least maybe like spiritually it got easier. Like I feel like if you know people in your program, you're chilling. If you're not, it's gonna make your life a lot harder. You know?
How is that?
Like I don't know. Like it's honestly so hard to keep up with like all the assignments and all this other stuff. Like I find if I'm not asking my friends about it, I'll just like fall behind.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the same. Yeah,
It's just
I feel the same way. I can only keep up with schoolwork because I have friends telling me like, "Oh, this was due yesterday." I'm like,
yeah. Literally. And the thing is, it's nice though because you get to help them back too.
yeah, of course.
You know, it's not just like, well, hopefully not just like, you know, but even so, like if they're good, like they wouldn't even mind, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
a lot of the times when Leo, he lives with me and he would be like, "Santi, you have an assignment due in 3 days. Like it's so big, it's this and that," and that's just stressing just because he's stressing me. But it's a good thing though. It's a good thing because otherwise I don't stress about schoolwork. That's my issue. But thankfully, I have Leo to stress me out. Shout out Leo.
so
No, but yeah. Anyway, so how come you ended up going into mechatronics?
yeah, so yeah, like maybe like okay, I can answer your question directly or go on a side note that will eventually answer your question.
Let's go with we have time.
So my dad, he works with like research professors and stuff. When they come up with like a new patent or something, he will like see like how to use that and put it into the market in the form of some business or some other thing. So almost like Dragon's Den for like research type of thing. Like if this should be like like a startup or if this should be like a company. And so I think that definitely helped when I was growing up because I feel like I would always be like, "Hey dad, what if I made this and this?" And he'd be like, "No son, that's not gonna work." We're like, "Oh,
That's not a business."
no," but like he was doing it in a loving way that like made sense. Like I feel like after when I grew older, I was like, okay, yeah, that actually does make sense why that doesn't work. Like for example, like I don't know if anyone's seen like a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. Like some energy will get lost or like just not properly converted.
Right.
I this one time I tried to like pitch him on like this profession, and he's like, no dude, it's like a fact, like even we studied this, we've tried, this doesn't work. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I was a little bit more stubborn, and I got kind of sad. I kind of took it personally, but
Right.
like I feel like yeah, I know. No, but like it was definitely like an important guidance, because when you start something, like usually like you should want to finish it.
Right.
So starting on something that's not like a good landing pad to get go can be like very like emotionally draining, and like,
Of course.
you know, just like not like a good experience. So,
Yeah.
like I feel like there's like a balance between like guiding someone to not do that, but also don't guide them so much that they don't try anything at all.
Right.
You know, it's like a sweet spot that's like very like precise.
Yeah, and you got that sweet spot.
I don't know.
Still,
I don't know. I don't know. I think to be honest, I got that sweet spot, but there is still that inner me who's just trying to go like off the wall,
Yeah.
off the sides. But like it's good hearing my like dad's advice with like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like at least you got that framework, right? Growing up, that you know how to evaluate the different ideas or evaluate different, you know, things that you're exploring. So you can tell if you're either losing your time or you might be up to something, right?
You know, I definitely got the experiences. I don't know if the framework set in until maybe recently. You know, I feel like that's a lot of times you just kind of experience the guidance, but you don't necessarily know why.
Yeah.
Or like internalize it. It's just kind of just like, oh, okay.
Right. I get what you're saying. In my case, my dad has been an entrepreneur of his life as well.
Oh, nice.
And whenever I would go with a business to him, it would be the same thing. It would be like, like, have you considered this, right? And then I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, this would not work. You know, this and that, like to a point that he would either validate my idea or be like, that's a no-go. And then at some point I got tired of it. I'm like, I think I know everything, right? And then I started like doing things by myself without telling him. And then it would be like very close to losing money, or like I would lose money. And then she would be like, yeah, that's what you get for not coming to me first. But it's just me trying to be like independent after it. Yeah, it's always good to have like that voice, you know what I mean? Even though sometimes you won't come to them, you know, and it's true also for like if you have mentors and, you know, stuff like that maybe you just like copy their voice in your head whenever you're like exploring different things, then you try to run through that framework that they've taught you, and then you see if something's valid or not, you know? But going back to your career choices.
Okay, yeah. Sorry for the sidetrack, but
all good.
Anyways, he got me to think about this thing in physics that like, no, it was found in physics that due to like laws of like transfer of energy, like you can't just make energy out of nothing.
Right.
Well, like for the most part, like maybe you can do stuff with like atoms maybe in the future. I'm not too versed in like nuclear like engineering, but like on the most part in the level I work with, usually it's like some type of energy transfer going on. And even in the nuclear, I'm pretty sure like separating and like combining atoms that like releases like a large amount of energy. And so even then it's technically not created or destroyed.
Right. I mean, that's the law, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of thought of this, and I was like, I don't know if this is directly why, but I was like, okay, I want to be able to make something new. It seems like a lot of those things are already done, unless you're in like really specialized research. But you can always just make a new gadget, like whenever like a new need seems to like pop up. So I was thinking, okay, or even like robots. It seems like, I don't know, like people will always need robots, like so that they don't have to like do annoying tasks, I guess, or like maybe like the tasks they're trying to focus on are more like higher level thinking ones, and then like they don't want to wash the dishes anymore. They want to like, I don't know, use that time studying or like doing something else.
Right.
You know, not to say that washing the dishes isn't good. You could probably learn some lessons from washing the dishes. Like things transfer for sure.
I like washing the dishes now.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh yeah,
Therapeutic, you know, like
yeah, dude.
at night.
The problem is you gotta get gloves. Gloves. Got gloves. Dude, you need gloves because, like, there's this thing, like, the hotter the water is, like, the more it comes off, but also the more your hands come off.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, if you wear gloves, it's honestly, and like, gloves and headphones, dude, it's honestly kind of pleasant.
Yeah, right?
Like, and maybe even dancing a little. And also, you need the apron. Because when that thing splashes on your shirt, it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. You know, I had a roommate that she would do the dishes sitting down.
Sitting down.
Dude,
How? Sitting down.
she's a visionary.
That's actually smart, actually. I might have to, like, bring one of my
And she would
tools.
cook sitting down as well.
Sitting, yeah. I mean, you study sitting down.
Like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some brains thing just outside the box, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. I might actually have to try that.
I know. I saw it. I still haven't done it. It's still like, it's so weird for me, but like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like doing a podcast sitting down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, just actually,
My side.
no.
Well, bro. So, but what I'm seeing is that you went into mechatronics because you had some type of like inventive type of tendency. You know, you wanted to invent something. Is that right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, that was just like the way I thought like I could contribute, you know. And like, we had this one tech course in high school that I used to spend all my time in. Like, it was like we would like make like LEDs blink or something, or like, and we would make like the circuits from scratch, like, as little kids. Like, sometimes in my labs now or like in first year, like, we were doing that, but like we were doing it back in high school, or even like other things where you would like put a bunch of different sensors together and like program like a little robot to like go and like
Lego robots?
No.
Actual robots.
We built them ourselves. Like, the teacher provided us like the diagrams for the circuits. We had to design the circuits and build everything ourselves. It was crazy. It was
Which high school did you go to?
It was actually like, it's in Waterloo. Like, I'm actually from Waterloo, so
Okay.
probably a lot of shout out to Laurel Heights, formerly known as SJAB. But yeah, it was a very good tech school. They had very strong like STEM, and I'm pretty sure they had strong other things as well. It's just I was mostly focused on STEM at that point in my life. I feel like, although I tried very hard, my focus was like more like focused. It wasn't like as outward looking.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You know, but yeah, like it was a course where you could like program circuits, and at the same time, like, you had access to a 3D printer and all this stuff. So it was like both mechanical circuitry, and there was like a little bit of like low level circuits.
The first time I saw a 3D printer was at Waterloo, I think.
Oh yeah, no, it was so cool how like we had access to one in high school. I think that might have been like the first time
you guys had exposure since you were very young.
It was honestly very cool.
Right. I don't know if I told you, but I did try to go into mechatronics. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to do robots. And I think the reason why I tried to do was because I was also into the invention type of things. I always wanted to like invent things. And at the same time, in one of the schools that I was, they had the Lego robots. And I think I played with them like once or like a couple times.
Oh yeah.
And after that, it stuck with me. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I want to do something like that. But then I didn't do too well in physics.
Yeah.
So business it is.
Yeah, no, like I did pretty well in physics only because like I actually like like a lot of the times when people were hanging out or something, I would just do my homework instead. And I think that's maybe like what maybe
separate the grade from the
yeah, no, I think that's what really helped, because like a lot of this stuff, like, you don't learn it until you like do the problems,
right?
You know, and I feel like back then me knew that a lot better than university.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm trying to get back to that, you know, because there's like a whole other back to the basics. Like, there's like a whole like thing like when like transitioning to uni, but that's like its own thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would say that's like the main reason why like I got into mechatronics.
Right. But I feel like you've been kind of involved in that area since you were very young then.
I mean, like, I was really interested in stuff like that. Like, I remember like when we got like our first iPhone, I feel like everyone when they're a kid, they're like,
blow mine.
Yeah, it's like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
But I remember it was like, well, if enough people work together on the same thing, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
But for one person, it's impossible.
Yeah. That collaboration aspect, right?
Yeah, no, like imagine, like we wouldn't have all this amazing things. Like we wouldn't have all these amazing things if it was just like one person,
right,
type of thing.
That's true.
You know?
And where do you see your industry now? Like now that you are actually in the program, that you've been working there for 3 years, how are you liking it? Where do you think it's going?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like from the most recent co-op I had, it does seem like, yeah, we're moving towards like a more automated like world, at least for the tasks that should be automated.
Yeah.
Like the project, like the company we were working with was working on, it may be confidential, so that's why it may be like a little vague, was that like the conditions in these places weren't necessarily like the best where like these things would be manufactured. So just having these things automated like would like help like these poor people who have to like work on those conditions, and also like be able to provide more goods for people. Because when you have like a process that's like that quick and robotic, it can really speed up production, like for material things. It's like really efficient. Like
yeah, so it's a lot of upgrades right now and innovation into the whole manufacturing area. But I mean, also like just day-to-day items, right? I see. Well, I still remember the first time that we got the Roomba.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, you know. It's like, whoa, I don't have to broom anymore.
Yeah, no, it is really cool. Like, yeah, we don't even have a Roomba actually. I might have to like mention, like, to my parents. I live in my parents' house because like we live in Waterloo.
Yeah.
I tried moving out, but honestly, it didn't make sense, and I feel like, I don't know. Like, there's going to be a time where I move out. Like, I kind of want to enjoy the time I have with my parents, like, especially while they're still, like, able to, like, give me, like, guidance. Because I feel like maybe at a certain age, like,
they'll just give you the space to their own mistakes.
Yeah, type of thing. I mean, they'll always be there, but I don't know. Like, that and also saving money is nice, you know?
100%.
Really nice. Really nice.
I've lived by myself for the past 4 years, and dude, I'm just now like looking at like, holy, I'm gonna have to pay for student loans, and then every month you gotta stress about the rent, and so I see that especially for STEM programs and that are extremely time consuming. The best, if you can, is for sure to stay at home.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're coming home, you have to worry about what you gotta cook. You gotta worry about like your payments. Sometimes you gotta have a part-time job. You know, like it's a lot of responsibilities for a person that just came out of high school. You know, so I definitely. I mean, my parents, they live like an hour away, so it's fine. But I've thought about it. You know, I'm like, should I just like go by?
No, if it's an hour away, it's fine. But like my parents live in Waterloo.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
so it's like
it'd just be like a stupid waste of money.
Not to say that I haven't done that. Like, there was a time where I did, like, move into a place with some friends.
Okay.
And honestly, like, the bonds I made with those friends, I think are worth it, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely worth it, you know? But I feel like also being with your family is also worth it. Dude, they also both work at the university, so the days that they're in, like, we literally drive together. It's like almost like when we were kids again.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's cool. Yeah, but sometimes it's like me driving. It's like I'm dropping you guys off to school now. So it's like kind of funny.
Also, you've been in academia, like, involved all your life, huh?
All my life, like academia.
Yeah, I mean, like your parents work at the university, or
Yeah, I think there was a moment in time where my mom worked somewhere else, but like now like they're just both at the uni.
That's interesting.
So it's like kind of cool.
Did you get pushed in academics all through your life?
I think definitely when I was younger.
Right.
I feel like now it's like more of like guidelines, or like, hey, you should do this, you should do that, you know, but not necessarily as like strict.
Right.
But like, I don't know. It's like when I was younger, maybe. And I think it was a thing too of like, I don't know what, but I don't know. It seemed like I cared about my grade a lot more when I was younger.
Yeah.
I think maybe the idea of going to Waterloo was like hatched into me, like secret. My dad's someone who really doesn't like he's really cognizant of like not forcing people to do stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely think he was trying to like hinted in my ear like, yo, you should go to engineering. Or like or like, oh, like, you know, like he would always like be telling me about like all like the cool stuff like happening there, like what, like, oh, this new Waterloo person made this, or wow, this startup, or oh, they sold it to Google for this much or something, you know.
Yeah, that is cool.
So like it was in my mind.
It grew on you.
Yeah,
I can picture that going to you when you were asleep and go to Waterloo.
I don't know if he did that, but yeah, definitely like the positive light of it like was good. And like, to be fair, like I'm honestly like grateful for that.
Okay.
Like, it is a very good school.
And where do you see yourself going after Mechatronics?
After, that's a good question.
I mean, in the ring.
I was thinking of maybe like getting more serious with some startup stuff,
Okay.
or maybe even doing teaching instead. That became like a new thing like I thought about recently from like other experiences I had, like teaching like in other fields, and just like noticing like, wow, like when you teach something you definitely learn it a lot more, and it's like a good feeling to like be able to like help someone learn something.
Yeah, teaching is definitely a passion for a lot of people.
Yeah,
For me, I do see myself maybe in the future giving some tutorials, or you know, some type of I don't know, hopefully business teaching.
yeah, no. Well, technically, that's what this could be as well.
Well, I guess.
Dude, I remember, like, when I was a kid, man, like, I would listen to a lot of podcasts.
Really?
With, like, I don't know, like, Elon Musk or whoever. Like, as a kid, like, man, what are these people saying? Like, what are they doing? Or even Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these, like, people talking about physics and all these other things, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely, it involves you kind of in the conversation, you know? You think you're, like, at that moment, and I just got into podcast maybe like 2 years ago, not even. And yeah, it changed. A lot of the things it changed, you know, because I was listening to real conversations, getting to know some serious knowledge from certain industries or, you know, circles. And you're like, wow, you learn a lot from podcasts or just regular conversations. And I think in my experience in Waterloo, some of the most valuable knowledge I've gotten was from conversations that I've had at Velocity, or, you know what I mean, just knowing other founders or people just like that are in programs like yours, you know, that I'm not an engineer, but getting to talk to an engineer, it opens your mind like crazy, you know, you get to understand like some technologies and stuff, and it's pretty cool for sure to have conversations here and there with
Okay, you say that about engineers, but I say that about like every other field.
Really? Okay.
To be honest, because like, I don't know, like, I feel like engineering is one of those things that does like tend to close you off unless you're pushing out.
Yeah.
So I'll try and like talk to as many people as I can to kind of get that outside perspective. Like that's something I really like try and push towards. And I think I got a lot better with that. Like the more religious I got too, like it opened my eyes to like more, I would say like just other fields of like, I guess study, but even just like experience, like everybody's experience like has like value.
Yeah, I heard a quote somewhere that said that anybody knows something that you don't, you know, and that stuck with me. Every single time that I talk to somebody, I'm trying to like get that type of knowledge, I'm trying to steal them. Well, so I get what you're saying, that when you talk to people from different areas, you get to learn and expand your mind, right? Is that a part of your religion as well, or?
Well, it definitely is a thing to like it's a very like it's a very highly regarded value to like be rid of prejudice. So if you think, oh no, this person doesn't know anything, that's like a form of like mental prejudice. Like, no, you should like, you can maybe still have that in your mind, but hear them out. Yeah. So that it gets like washed away. Right. Like, I don't want to go to this thing because I feel like all the people are going to be like this. And I'm just going to go anyways and see how it goes. And it's almost like a cycle. The more you do that, you're like, oh yeah, damn, I was completely wrong.
Yeah, the more you prove yourself wrong,
Yeah, you know, and then it's just like they slowly like wash away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which religion is it? I think you told me yesterday. I was like the first time hearing about it.
Baha'i.
Baha'i.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like a root from.
It's that's an interesting question. I'm trying to think of the way to answer that. We say there's not really a root per se, but that all the religions were made to like guide people, and so that they have a unity to them. And this is just like the most recent one.
Okay. Is that like a fairly new?
Yeah, like in terms of like religious timelines, yes.
I see.
Yeah.
But you grew up in that religion, or?
Yes, I grew up going to like children classes and stuff, and then also like JY, and that really helped me in high school to just like be a lot more friendly. But then there was a time where I was trying to like explore like outside of this, like what is life like? And it took, I think, like a good maybe like around like 5 or 7 years for me to be like, nah, I need to come back to this. Like, nothing out here is like
good enough.
No, not good enough, but it was like there's a lot of like pain out here, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I grew Christian, and then I also went on my own self-exploration era for like 6 years or something. And then when I went back, it felt like going back home, you know. I don't know if you have that similar feeling.
100%. And like it was kind of hard to like appreciate like a lot of like the guidance, because I feel like I had never run into situations where it was necessarily applicable.
Right.
Like imagine telling a kid, okay, be rid of superstitions. Like they might be like, oh, what's a superstition?
I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have a single superstition. Yeah. Like you have superstition, you know. But then like but then like I don't know, like times came where like I don't know, like maybe something simple like, oh, like it seems that every time this happens. You know, and it was very hard to distinguish if like certain things were superstitions or like
the brain is very good at creating patterns.
And like sometimes that's like not the best thing, because if it's just like one example you see and then you base your whole like life framework off of that one thing, it is like that can lead to like not like having like an accurate model of like what's going on. It's even a thing in machine learning too. Like let's say like you have like a line, and I haven't looked at this in a long time. Let's say you have like a line. Yeah. Or no, sorry. You're trying to make it. Rewind, sorry. Let's say you have like a bunch of points in space, and you're trying to fit like a line through it, right? Like what you could do is like fit a line. Like let's say there's points like randomly spaced like this. Yeah. And you want a line to randomly go like that, right? Or not randomly, but you want it to be kind of like the average of that line. That's what you would want, right? So that the error is like the least errorful as possible. Or I don't know the term for that, but right? You want the average. What you could do is like, oh, you see one scenario and then you just bounce, right? And then like you literally draw the line so it's a zigzag, literally connecting every single point. And then when you try to apply it to like a different situation, it just fails completely because it didn't average the whole thing. Right. You know, it just tried to get it's like the perspective of it, I guess, when you look at a different point, or when you look at all of them. Yeah, it's almost like memorizing the solution for a problem instead of practicing a bunch of problems to like learn how to come up with a solution. Yeah, you know? 100%. Because, okay, if you memorize a solution and then go to the next problem and it doesn't look the same as it, you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
You know, but if you just like have practice, like making those mistakes in those problems, like then the next one you face, it's like you're not using necessarily a memorization fully of the previous solution. You can use like bits and pieces, but you know, that like process of like how you go about it is like, getting better.
Right.
Type of thing.
Okay.
You know?
So that's some of the, I guess, cornerstones from your religion, or?
Well, yeah, I think so. But there's also this concept of like life will also teach a lot of these values as well. So it's like both. It's like both scripture and then also like experience and just like a keen observant eye.
Like at all on hands learning.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what life is, you know?
Yeah, 100%, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to close out with a business fun fact.
Okay, cool.
All right. Let's see if this impresses you. It'll be funny if I say it and you're just like, okay, whatever. Did you know that 1 in 10 Europeans are conceived in an IKEA bed? Yeah, no reaction.
No, I'm just thinking about like how they measured that.
That's difficult survey to fathom.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah,
right. I guess pretty popular. Look, just think about how much beds.
That's a business fact.
That's a business fact.
Okay, that's like a business.
Yeah,
fact.
that means that they sell a lot of beds. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna go with that one. We're gonna
go
with that one, and
that's it. Oh, there's not more.
Oh, you want me to read you?
No, I thought there was like a list. I thought it was like
it is a list. Adding /4 to the end of Facebook's URL will take you to Mark Zuckerberg's profile.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to check that one, to be honest. I don't know if that's accurate. But yeah, that was episode number 7. Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah.
Those were very underwhelming fun facts today. No, I'm gonna try to find.
No, it's fine. Honestly, what you should do is ask the Okay, this is from like another podcast I've seen.
Okay,
but they like ask the guest to like come up with a question for the next guest or something. It was from
is that with a CEO?
Yeah.
That one. Just
yeah. So maybe like I can share. Actually, I don't know if I know any fun facts.
Come on, that mechatronic brain, put it to work.
Because I don't know if they're like 100% factual the way I say it, but whatever. Did you know? Well, you probably know. That's honestly whatever. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I kind of want a different one. Wait, hold on. Fun fact.
I mean, Leo's last time, he didn't even know the full name of the person. So.
Okay, wait. I think there was one recently I found out. Okay. Did you know? Now, this might be like a commonly known thing.
Okay.
But did you know the name of like the thing they put on like Crocs? Like those like
what you like the widgets?
Yeah. They're called gibbets.
Gibbets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that's a business fact because that's like a product.
Yeah, I mean they sell very well.
Gibbets or giblets? I feel like it's gibbets. Something similar to that.
Yeah.
Like
I never heard that before.
Yeah. Right. You never heard that, right? Somebody made fun of me for not knowing that, and I was like, wow. I was like, dude, like
nobody.
I'm sorry, I wear Nikes. Yeah. Get out of here.
That's some more Crocs when you're in middle school.
No, it's okay. I shouldn't say that. Like I love people who wear Crocs. You know?
Yeah, no, they're cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Joseph, for doing the podcast. You should be having me on more often.